Hi, welcome to Inside the Moms Club, where being a mom is the coolest place to be. Here in the Moms Club, we believe that what embarrasses you now will make a great story later. And let's face it, if you don't laugh sometimes, you're gonna cry. Join us in having a good laugh together. I'm Monica Samuels. You are now inside the Moms Club, your private destination for all things mom. Welcome, moms! Welcome, moms. Welcome to Inside the Moms Club. I'm your host, Monica Samuels, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, Julie Orchid.
So
welcome,
excited.
Julie. Yes, we're very excited. We are in this beautiful space, Albernays Restaurant on Oak Lawn in Dallas. It's one of my favorite restaurants.
Listen, 9 a.m. full makeup. People who know me, this is a big deal.
And it is a big deal. Look at the space. It's beautiful. They have done an amazing job, and I love them so much. They're the restaurant I go to for all my special occasions. So my son's graduating in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Fingers crossed, he will graduate.
It's gonna happen.
And we're gonna have the graduation dinner here. It's a place for special occasions.
Yeah.
It's a place that you'll just have an
I feel a little
excellent
weird.
meal.
I've never been here before, but I'm not from Dallas, so.
We'll have to bring you the next time. We're going to get on albernays.com, make you a reservation.
Okay. All right.
And we
You're
are
actually
also
from Dallas, so welcome home.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and I understand from everybody, we all had a good night's sleep too. We also want to thank the Beeman Hotel here in Dallas.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is last year was voted the top staycation hotel in Dallas. So if
love a
you live in
staycation.
Dallas and you want a staycation, book your room at the Beeman.
Okay.
But yes, indeed, I am from Dallas, and it is so exciting to be here. I was born in Dallas, raised in Plano, and it is so.
Plano counts. I mean, it's gotten bigger and bigger.
Well, you know, when I lived here, it was north. Now it's central Dallas, basically. So yeah, it's changed. It's changed quite a bit. So, yeah, and we're excited today because guess what? We're giving our first Dallas Mom of the Year Award. This is our first Mom of the Year Award. We're going around the country, and in each city, we're selecting a mom and honoring her with a beautiful award. And we did a show in Austin that was live, and we did not give a Mom of the Year award. Everyone has.
I feel like a fight would break out over who would get that.
Well, that was a problem because we kind of were arguing over.
You thought it was you.
Well, I kind of
thought it was me.
Yeah, and then you know what? And then Jennifer.
Jennifer, quietly was like,
I'll
"It's
tell you
me,
what,
you
want to know the truth?
Yeah.
The truth is, when Jennifer threw her name in, I was like, I might not win this.
Yeah,
so
we're out.
I'm not
we're
gonna
out. Yeah.
So yeah.
But we disqualified ourselves.
Well, I disqualified myself sadly 2 weeks ago when I was here for SMU Moms Week.
Oh, that'll do it.
Well, it did do it.
Yeah.
I had my first hangover since law school. And I think that was when Lincoln was president. That was a long time
Maybe.
ago. So it was really. I mean, I felt awful because I've told my son for all of college, don't drink, stop drinking. You know, everybody, no drinking. To humble myself the day after and asked him for advice on hangovers.
Monica,
how to cure a hangover. I mean, that was kind of.
I am sure he said, hair of the dog, Mom.
No, he didn't, but another mom did actually. Because we were
she's
all
part of the club. She's trying to help.
Yeah, we were kind of helping each other on that
exactly.
one. So, and then we didn't help ourselves. You and I disqualified ourselves.
Oh yeah, we have had the chance to go to the Country Music Television Awards 2 years in a row, and it's been a blast. This is where I learned who Jelly Roll is. Had no idea, but he's a really fun. He preached, he sang. I mean, it was awesome.
It was awesome. No, the show was awesome.
I mean,
it's what happened after that was not so awesome.
I don't know about that.
What we did. Okay, be honest. If your daughter did what we did, you'd be beside yourself.
I would be very upset if my daughter did what I did.
Yes.
So let me. Yeah.
What we did is after the show, we were looking for an Uber, and we were looking, it was a big crowd, and out of the blue, Julie says, hey, let's take that taxi cab over there.
Okay, I knew it was a little sketchy, but it was only a mile.
It was a mile ride, yeah, but the vehicle was a white unmarked minivan with a green light on top.
I'm pretty sure I think you could order it on Amazon and just say, I'm going to make some money tonight.
I think you could, yeah. So anyway, we made it through a lot of prayer on my part, I believe. And when we got there...
a little dramatic. I've got some street cred. It's okay.
It was true. We got there. But anyway, he charged us $35 after trying to gouge us. And Jennifer was the only one with cash, but it was in her car.
Yeah.
And she comes out with 35 $1 bills, which she hands the guy.
That's a whole different show. I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm not sure what that's all about.
I know. I don't know. But anyway, we had a good time. But I did call Monica about a week ago, maybe 10 days ago, and I was all passionate about the fact that was very upset over the Golden Bachelor. And I don't know why, except for the fact they were married for 90 days. And I was like, how is this possible? Still a complete head scratcher to me. I don't know. But I need someone to explain reality TV to me. I need someone to give me the details.
Okay, I know you're upset about that.
I was.
I mean, I even think she bought him a wedding gift. I mean, she was that into their marriage. And I mean, I know that people get invested in these shows.
Sure.
And you were
want to believe
deeply invested.
I don't like it when hope is ripped from me.
Well, I know. And so we're gonna. So you know what? We are going to. Lucky you.
Oh boy.
We have an expert on this topic.
Thank God.
Here today. She is featured in the Netflix hit series Buying Beverly Hills. She's actually a very successful real estate agent and a managing partner at the agency, which is the real estate agency that the show surrounds around. After college, she started her own marketing and PR firm. So she's been an accomplished business person for a very long time. She's the mom of 2 sons. Please welcome Michelle Schwarz. Welcome to the Mom's Club, Michelle. Hi. So thank you so much for being here and clearing a lot of things up, because you see the effect these shows can have on someone like Julie.
Yes.
Not quite over the Golden
I was upset too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well,
why didn't they talk about where they were living before like getting married?
Michelle, you have hit the nail on the head. I was really like, didn't you discuss this? Yeah.
Do you think that? Yeah. I mean, it's like talking about finances before you get married.
You need to shed some light on reality TV. Monica.
Well, here's how. So the first way we start is let's start with you.
Okay.
You're depicted a certain way on Buying Beverly Hills.
It's an edit.
And okay, well that's what I want to, and then you're here in person. So can you share the difference between what we see when we're watching that show and what the real Michelle Schwarz?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the perfect room for this answer, okay? Like, as moms, we're not always proud of how we speak to our children, how we feel dismissed, they don't listen, we have to yell. So imagine someone's following you around at all of those amazing moments, and then they just get to chop it up however they want, right? And you don't, obviously it's not all of me. I think we all have many sides to us. Not everything is moments that we're proud of, but they're captured, and I think it made for a really good show, and they can thank me for a season 3 later. I mean,
we hope so.
Yeah, that's here's to hoping. Yeah.
Well, that's right. So you're kind of the cliffhanger at the end of the show. Well, not to spoil. If you're listening on the podcast and you haven't watched, you might want to hit pause, watch the show, and then listen to this, because I'm about to spill something.
Okay.
But at the end of the show, you're asking Maurizio, who founded the agency and you've known for a very long time.
Yeah.
He's been told that said his daughters aren't worthy to take it over someday.
I don't think that's what I said.
No, again, I'm not putting words in your mouth. That's
no. That's what they got back to them.
That's
the game of telephone. That's what got back to them.
Members are led to believe, and he calls you in, and he kind of tells you, not sure. You're not going to be the next. I mean, that's
anyone but Michelle.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
He did say that.
And then, after that, he immediately brings in a guy who I was not that impressed with, to be honest with you, through the whole show. I'm like, oh, he's going to be the one. He's like, oh, I need you. I might not be around a lot. We want you to come.
My 12-year-old wants to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
That's what he said. I said, we're not doing that, but
yeah, exactly.
So I guess there's some misconceptions about women in business, and there's certain stereotypes that I don't know that that's any kind of intentional thing. I don't think they're trying to say, well, men can do things better than women, but what's your feeling about the misconceptions that exist in the business world, and how do we fix those?
I mean, I would not be sitting here if we could fix them, right?
Oh, yeah.
I would be on a yacht somewhere in the middle of the Mediterranean. So, look, let's go back in history, right? Like, real estate was always, like a stay-at-home mom's job. Like, it was always this ideal, you can make your own schedule. I think as time progressed and as things changed and prices went up, there are men that saw that there's a lot of money in it.
Yeah.
Right? And so now you have all these powerhouse men, and all of these shows that are on television, most of them are featuring strong men. So, and successful men, and the shows are making them even more successful. There's not many women that you see in that position. I think we can all agree that when a woman is strong and forceful, she's a B word, right? Or she's not deserving of it, or she's a complainer. Whereas I think that if you would have put my words in somebody else's mouth that's on the cast, I would not have been kind of dragged through the ringer the way that I was. But I did say those things.
There is that. Well, in fact, I'm an attorney, and I have to say, when they flash back to where you actually said it,
that was one of my favorite scenes.
When you said I didn't say that, and then it's like, oh, she said it.
It was amazing.
Yeah. That does happen. But even when we talk about strong man, that's compared to the woman who's the B word, the guy that in the end that he sort of picks. I mean, no offense, but he's a little gossipy.
Well, he makes 10,000 calls a year, you guys.
Oh, he does. He has a big board where he marks them all off. Yeah.
But you have a goal, Michelle, I think, to be like a mentor. That's how the show, started, to be a mentor, like how you came in. And I actually have 2 daughters that, I want them to be very successful, independent. So how are you mentoring these women that, I know you have a lot of women that work for you.
Well, clearly Mauricio's daughters are not interested in me mentoring them.
Well, we can move on.
So, I think what was unfortunate is that you didn't get to hear all of my accolades.
Yes.
And so it kind of made me, it appeared like I was coming out of left field, and but I really have achieved a lot of success both within the company and in my life, right? So with age comes wisdom. Mm-hmm. That's all I was saying. It was, so I started with Mauricio at the company. We started it together. Well, I was one of the founding agents, and I have had to ask for every step of the way for my growth, right? Nothing has been handed to me. Mm-hmm. So I now run 3 offices with 165 agents under me. We are the 3 most profitable. Yes. Not to give away corporate finance information, but we are the most profitable offices for the company, my offices. And I make it a point to recruit strong female realtors.
Yes, I love it.
So, I think that's kind of what my not claim to fame, but that's what I tout. I love that. I love bringing in more women. A lot of them are moms. Not in a weird way, but I built my career off my kids, right? That's a whole new sphere of influence that I did not have beforehand. Your target market, you're spending time with them, you're in their home, you're doing play dates, you're at the park, you're at the birthdays. And so, you throw on a little hat and all of a sudden they want to talk to you about real estate. And so that's really kind of how I built my kids. Also I used to give them my business cards and say, go ride a bike, and for every lead is $100.
So you're building the business. They got
to know what hard work is.
Well, you lead into that because, listen, you mentioned you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And you have a very busy life.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We all do.
Yeah. Coffee comes to you in the morning. Your husband's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
How do you, this is a silly question because you can't balance it all. It's not perfect. But how do you do it? You are a very busy woman.
So I guess my favorite way of describing it is that I live a life of playing a game of whack-a-mole at all moments. So you're just constantly putting out fires all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, being a high-functioning, ADD probably, I don't know, I'm constantly listening and knowing what's going on in many different, pockets and moments.
Yes.
And so it's really just kind of taking care of what's in front of you when you have it. Instead of trying to plan everything out. I'm I'm a master procrastinator. Yeah. Everything's at the last minute, but
you work best under pressure.
I work best under pressure, like a diamond.
Yeah, see?
Well, and being a mom too, so in the show, at one point you're criticized because you suggested that Farrah, who wants to be a mother, get married and have children, you say, well, she probably wouldn't be ready to take care of the business because she wants to be a mom. And
I know what it's like.
And so I took it as, I know exactly what that's like. There's a difference between
You're my target market. You understand.
I got it.
Let's be honest.
I didn't take anything that you said wrong. I was like, when you're young, when I was in my 20s, I thought, I should run the business. I'm so smart. I'm so good. Why don't they listen to me? And actually, they told me, well, with age comes wisdom and experience, and it wasn't until you're sitting in that seat that you realize, that's true.
That is true.
So you really didn't say anything. They said you were a hypocrite for saying, you're a mom. So
I'm not saying you can't do it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, when you're going through newborns at that time, like, it's not the ideal. Ideal moment to start a company.
So your kids are 10 and 12. How old? So in your career,
12 and 14.
12 and 14.
Yeah.
So they were little too when you started.
I got my license when I was pregnant with my first son.
Wow.
That was when my transition. So I used my maternity leave as my.
Did you do a
intro to
deal
real
on the
estate.
day of the birth?
I could see that.
Wait a second. So it took me a full year before I could get one deal done. So I had my son, my older son, that I got pregnant a couple months later, and Marisa was like, get these kids out of the way and let's start making money. I was like, 10-4.
Got it.
So, so then I then was pregnant, and we were transitioning and coming up with the concept of the agency and talking about these like secret meetings, and I was super pregnant with my son, my second son, and they call me and they're like, we're going into a new office right now. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm having contractions, you guys. I was that. So our company started on September 1st, 2010. My son was born September 8th. So I was closing my first deal with my best friend, having contractions on the floor of a conference room with Farah, by the way. Contractions on the conference room without any furniture.
Well, you've taken working under pressure to a whole different meaning.
You were quite impressive. So tell us a little bit about the agency. So is it a Fortune 500 company now, or what's the status?
We're not
it's
public.
pretty big. Okay, it's not a public.
We're not a public company, no.
But so is it international?
We are international. We are in. Oh gosh, now you're asking me stats. I believe we're in like 18 countries. I might be short-sighting us a little bit.
Yeah.
Most of Los Angeles. We cover all of like the West Coast. We've now branched off into New York, Miami. We have Charlotte. We have Austin. We have Dallas. So we're really taking over, and Canada, Mexico, all the above, and Europe.
Wow.
It's doing really well. Yeah, it's a great brand. The brand recognition is out of this world.
Oh yeah. Well, it's one of the most popular shows on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills also helped.
Well, sure.
That was a
that
walking
doesn't
billboard
hurt.
for our company
That
for
doesn't
like
hurt.
12 years.
For those that don't know, so Maurizio is married to, but currently estranged from, Kyle Richards.
Yes.
If I've got that all right, because every day it changes. Kyle Richards in this show, in Buying Beverly Hills, did say something interesting. So she's sitting with her daughters, and she says, somebody came up to me and said, I like all the characters in your show. And she's like, we're not characters, we're real people.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it's connected back to Real Housewives.
Yeah. So they did an amazing marketing job. I call Mauricio almost like the Poppager, right? He's like the Kris Jenner of real estate marketing. So he's really just parlayed it and used the TV platform to make a huge brand name for ourselves.
So can we get a teaser? So now you're season 3. Are you looking at season 3? Are you?
Give us a little bit of
Yeah,
something.
we want
Y'all
We want a
watch
little
and
bit.
need as many eyeballs as
Yeah. We won't tell anybody. This is.
Well, one of my castmates is an agent here at our Dallas office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
her name is Melissa Platt. So if you guys need anyone in
I know Melissa on this show.
Yeah. So Melissa, she works both in LA and in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if we're going to get a season 3. I don't know how they're going to edit me. Hopefully, you get an opportunity to like me next season, and you get to see a little more lighthearted side of me and a more positive, supportive person than.
Do you get any say in that?
No.
she gets no say.
So,
she just
You
says,
think that's what I would have
imagine,
chosen if I had a
I
say?
know. I'm just saying. I just feel like this is
I was
just.
like, I don't think she
Well,
chose
okay,
that. Yeah.
Well, okay, so we interviewed someone from the Real Housewives of Toronto, and she said I was cast as the villain. I took a bunch of tests. They looked at me. She even told me during the show we were doing. She said, Monica, if I were to cast the villain for your show, I'd pick you. And I was like, based on, what did I just say? That I'm cast as the villain. But she said she was cast that way, and she's hated it because she said ever since, she can't go in public without some person accosting her, telling her how awful she is.
Has that happened?
So it's kind of
I
like,
turned off comments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
I'm not interested.
Totally, yeah.
so in,
Yeah.
so
I got kids to protect.
Yeah.
We're adults here. I don't
Yes,
care what
exactly,
these keyboard
exactly.
warriors have to say about me.
So in season 3, the only way you can protect yourself is to be nothing but sweetness and light through the whole thing.
That's not fun.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That might not get you to season 4, so you're going to have to. But everybody likes a good redemption
Yes,
story.
a
You know,
good redemption story.
Well, I love the powerhouse that you are.
You are.
And, you know, everything that you do in creating for women.
Yeah, I mean, I think we needed to highlight strong women in real estate, and especially within our company, because it looks like a boys' club from the not the moms' club, but from the outside.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. We are all very inspired, and yes, you are a good example for all women entrepreneurs and all of our daughters out there. So thanks so much for joining.
I would just say, if you want to start a business, you want to do anything, just the best thing to do is to fail. Just keep failing, because that means you're learning and you're growing.
Yeah,
so,
that's true. That's true. That is great advice. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I would also like to take this opportunity. I want to thank 2 of our longtime sponsors that we absolutely love. One of them is Farmhouse Fresh. And for those who don't know, Farmhouse Fresh is an award-winning natural skincare company, and they grow fresh botanicals at their farm in McKinney. Julie and I have gotten to visit. It's amazing.
I get teary-eyed every time.
I do too.
Yes.
They have a corporate motto that they have a rescue for 2. They're going to rescue your complexion, and they're rescuing animals in need.
That's right.
Animals that have been abused. That is amazing, and we are so impressed by that. They've also been voted among the best spa brands in the country over the years, and Inc. magazine just added them to the list of the best businesses for putting purpose over profit. And there should be more companies like that. And today, in fact, their founder, Shannon McClendon, is here, and we're just so thrilled that she could be here today.
Yes.
And we also love New Calm.
Yes,
that
thank
we have
God for
long
New Calm.
time fans of New Calm. In fact, Julie knows, were it not for New Calm, I would not be here, because I don't sleep well at all. So New Calm is an app that helps you have better sleep, less stress. It helps you focus. It gives you energy.
If it's gonna make me present, I'm all over it.
It's great for moms because it makes you present, and I understand it also makes you more patient.
Oh, okay, I'm working on it.
So so everybody can use that, right? And here's the great thing. So if you buy get a subscription on their app, put Moms Club in the code at checkout, you will get 15% off, not just your first subscription month, but every month thereafter for as long as you have the subscription. So you definitely want that.
Yes.
So if you want to look fresh, because you work from Farmhouse Fresh products,
glowing
and be well rested,
well rested,
definitely check out Farmhouse Fresh and New Calm. Well, and you will also, of course, be very refreshed if you happen to be in Dallas and you stay at the Beeman Hotel. So we want to throw that in there too. Yeah, absolutely. So, well, this is the exciting moment that we have waited for. It's our first ever Moms Club Award recipient. We're going to get to visit with her a little bit before the great grand moment where we hand her the award, which is very lovely. It's over here. It's actually cast by the same people that create the Oscar Awards.
Oh, okay.
So it is a very nice award. I'm sure she's going to put it in a place of honor. Her daughter will want to polish it every day and everything.
Well, tell us who she is.
I will tell you. Okay,
tell me who she is.
The great thing about this award, everybody in Dallas knows her and loves her, and around the country too. Everywhere I go in Dallas, I say her name, like, I love her. I love her. She could run for office, but I don't advise that.
I don't know if she wants to do that.
I don't think she wants to do that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't advise it either. But she's the co-host of the Kid Kraddick Morning Show. She has 2 podcasts, A Sandwich and Some Lovin' and Love Letters to Kellie, which has great relationship advice. Julie has been listening to it a lot.
I mean, she gives solid, to the point, and very valuable.
That's right. Yes, that's very valuable. Oh,
Sorry,
and
Kellie.
I forgot to mention, on May 31st, it will be her 30th anniversary of hosting.
Truly a remarkable career.
Well, it's made even more remarkable. She's only 39.
Oh,
And,
there you go.
And today she's really good friends, I understand, with Kellie Clarkson, who today is 42. So who
So
knew that
you're
Kellie
being-
Clarkson was older than our recipient? Anyway, to get the Moms Award, you have to be a mom. She's a proud mom of Brooke, Emma Kelly, who is here today, Cole and Dylan.
She loves
Please
that.
welcome to the Moms Club. Yeah, stand up.
Emma Kelly.
Please welcome to the Moms Club, Kellie Rasberry. Welcome to the Moms Club.
That's my wedding anniversary. Is your work anniversary? Let's celebrate.
Happy early anniversary. That's her wedding anniversary on my anniversary, my work
there you
anniversary.
go.
Oh,
I like
that's
that.
exciting. We
I
have a
could
lot
just
of
spend the whole hour talking to you.
Yeah.
I love, you need a good, I know you don't like the term villain, but you need a good villain on any reality show to make it juicy and entertaining, and I love you. You do a great job.
Thank you.
I know you get so much heat for it, too. Any outspoken woman who has an opinion is going to get backlash, no matter what it is. So.
That is true. That is true. Well, there's a little known fact that people don't know about you. Now, you were on the air with Kid Kraddick for years, but when Kathie Lee Gifford retired, they were looking for a new co-host, from what I understand.
Yes, they were.
And you auditioned to be, and you co-hosted with, I guess,
Regis.
it's sort of a Regis Philbin.
Yeah.
So, what was that like? You two iconic men in different radio and TV. What was that like? What was the
Well,
difference?
when they were casting a really wide net to replace Kathie Lee Gifford, the irreplaceable, some would say, Kathie Lee Gifford. And so they decided, as part of their search, to do a Women of Radio Week. And so they, radio stations across the country were trying to get the female host or co-host or, sidekick to be on that Women of Radio Week, and my listeners cast enough votes to get me a slot, and I was on the Friday show.
Oh, wow.
And so when I walked into the office that first day, my parents got to go with me to New York. That was really exciting.
That's great.
Emma Kelly's father, we are no longer together, but at that time we were, and he went with me too. And as soon as I walked in and met Gelman, the producer,
Gelman.
he was on one side of the desk, and he said, "Did you bring any flats?" And I said, "I am wearing flats." And at that moment, I knew this is probably not going to be my moment.
Yeah, right.
But yes, Regis is a very, well, may he rest in peace, was a very tiny man. And if you can believe it or not, Kelly Ripa was even tinier than Regis. So very delicate people get to do morning TV. So, but I had a great time. There was a bunch of snafus. They were supposed to send me over a bunch of stuff to learn about the guests that were going to be on the next day, one of whom was Lorraine Bracco, who was on The Sopranos, and I didn't have HBO, so I had never seen an episode of The Sopranos.
Okay.
And my packet never arrived.
Oh.
So I just basically said, what's it like to be married to Edward James Olmos? I did not know they had just split up. So that was a little embarrassing.
That's a moment, Kelly. That's a moment.
But the fun part was, the ABC Studios is all right there. So my then, I don't know if we were married at the time. Was I married to Freddie at the time? Anyway, a casting a director for All My Children was watching, and they said they panned the camera to Freddie in the audience, and they said, "Come over as soon as you get off."
Oh.
And they wanted him to audition for a role on All My Children. Didn't get it, but
yeah, that is so crazy.
yeah, I mean, it's just it was a crazy weekend, but it was a lot of fun.
So in theory, it could have been today. Now your husband is Alan.
Yes, Freddie is in the past, but I have a lovely daughter.
So instead of live with Kelly and Mark, it would be live with Kelly and Alan, only Kelly would be spelled different in each case. So it could have been
possibly.
So if you'd been off, is that at all? If things had gone a little different, would you have ever left Kid to work for
Absolutely.
Regis? Oh.
Take that opportunity.
Well, that's true.
Exactly.
I say that half in jest. I was offered at one point. I went out to Los Angeles to do a workshop for hosting, because you never know what your career is going to do, and this was many years ago. And at the time, a lovely lady named Marky Costello was conducting the workshop, and she said, if you would move to LA, I'd love to represent you and work with you. And I had to make a really big decision. Do I want to stay in Dallas with my sure thing with the Kid Kraddick morning show? My career was really starting to, take hold here. Or do I risk it all and give up everything with no job and move to LA? Ooh. So I chose to stay here, but sometimes I wonder what might have been. But it all worked out the way it was
you've certainly done well, and the people of Dallas absolutely loved you. So
well, I appreciate
made
that.
In your career, you have had a chance to meet, I don't even know, tons and tons and tons of people. Do you have a geek out moment with a celebrity? I had one last week. I probably embarrassed myself.
Yes, I have moments where I'm stunned speechless, and it's so embarrassing. In front of Michelle Pfeiffer, I was interviewing her and Harrison Ford for that.
Oh my!
What was it called?
I would
What
be
Lies
speechless
Beneath?
too.
Was that what it was called? That movie, and I just kept looking at her and telling her how beautiful she was. So embarrassing. And then I had to interview Reese Witherspoon one time. They actually, sometimes fly you out to Beverly Hills in these press junkets. And I just couldn't shut up.
Yeah.
I just kept talking about, she was with Ryan Phillippe at the time, and they got married in Charleston, South Carolina. Well, I'm from South Carolina, and I know that Ryan Phillippe does karate, and my boyfriend does karate. And she just sat there nodding the entire time. It was horrible.
Yeah.
So I have not mastered the art of interviewing. I'm not really great at it, but I'm just a fan like everybody else. You get stunned, speechless. You're like, what am I going to say that's going to change that celebrity's day? Nothing.
It didn't work out for me either. I was just looking. It was Brooke Shields, and I was looking at her jawline, and I was like,
I know.
Oh my, yeah. So it was awkward, and But anyway, we wanted to know.
I guess they're used to being stared at in silence.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But.
Well, part of the criteria that we've made up for Moms of the
You just
Year
made
award.
it up?
No. It was a very selective.
We had very strict
it's very
criteria for this
selective.
award.
I won the award. It's very strict
criteria, and one of them is you're just a giving philanthropic person. Kid Kraddick had kids charity, and can you tell us a little bit about that? And you've continued with that good work, so please share that.
Yes. So Kid Kraddick was. Way before I met him, he was married to Carol, and they were expecting their first child. And the doctors, doing the sonograms and everything, said that your baby's going to be born with a twisted femur and would never be able to walk. And so, like any parent would do, you drop down on your knees. If you've never been religious a day in your life, you start praying and making promises to God. And Caroline Kraddick was born perfectly healthy, walked straight as a line, and but Kid,
She's a doll.
And Kid made good on his promise, and he started the Kids charity, which takes children who have they're chronically ill, or they have terminal illness, life-altering illnesses, and they take the child, their siblings, their parents on an all-expenses-paid trip to Disney World.
Nice.
Because a lot of times when you have a sick child in the family, they get 100% of the attention. The siblings are like, they can't help it. They feel for their sibling, but like, what about me? I'm just in the shadows. So we give everybody, a moment in the spotlight on these trips. And Kid sadly passed away in 2013, but his dream was always for the charity to continue. So we're continuing that still 11 years later in his honor. So
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, that is tremendous. And of course, being a mom is the main criteria, and you are.
I fulfill that.
You fulfill it in a big way.
I mean, you should probably ask him, Kellie, is she worthy of the award?
Well, yeah, we're
this is
yes. That's good. Well, see, the fact that she brought her means that she's well worthy. Because if I was getting the award, I would probably not invite my son, because he might, I might not.
He might stand up like at a wedding.
Yeah, he might have an issue. Point out some things that not that I'm not a great mom, but I mean, so yes, we're thrilled that she's here. But you went from being a single mom to being the mom of 4 kids.
Yeah.
Right. My husband, Alan, 3 children from his previous marriage. So Emma Kellie was, it was just us for about 10 years. And so that was quite a big adjustment. When I was a single woman and I was a homeowner, I bought a home with intention of I'm going to probably, if I meet someone to marry them, I need to have room for my husband,
Fill
for
it up.
his possible children, you know, the older you get. And so I bought a house with the intention I'm going to get married and have a man live here with me, and I did that. But unfortunately, I didn't realize that my husband was going to have 3 children and that I was going to have 4 kids sharing one bathroom upstairs.
Oh boy.
So we had, but you know, I did have that intention, and I think it is important to, with everything you do it with intention.
But did he take over the closet space?
He was actually, I bought a huge closet.
Oh.
I mean, I thought of everything. I thought this closet, I need to have it big enough for he, she, and enough space for kids. But it wasn't quite enough, so we ended up buying our second home together.
Well, on your podcast, you're really funny.
Oh, thank
and,
you.
You know, I love how you give straight advice, and you give advice really solid. Like, no, girl, you know, you got to walk from that, and you know, really appreciate that you share that your journey of finding someone, and you had non-negotiables, which I think at you know this age, like you know, being 39, that you.
Well, I'm honest about my age.
look, I am too,
I
but-
just turned 57.
Okay.
Woo!
So
Happy birthday!
I'm not ashamed of it. I had my daughter. It took a while for me. I went through the infertility struggles that so many face, and I really can, if I really want to, I can transport myself back to that really emotional time. So my heart really breaks
Right.
for people
Yeah.
who struggle with infertility. But I had her, you know, I was 6 months shy of 40. So, you know, I was pretty well established in my career, and I had to make a lot of adjustments as a, you know, unfortunately my marriage did not work out with her dad. So being a single mom, trying to date with a young child, I had to be really creative with that. Because I didn't want just introducing a parade of men into her life. Not that there was a parade of men, but you know, I did okay.
Well, I think you did better than okay, and because of that, we are pleased to present to you, Julie.
Yes, let me get that.
My
Hold on.
assistant.
Yeah.
We have little fancy gloves too to use, but I guess we don't have to.
Yeah.
Dallas, the first ever Dallas Mom of the Year Award.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
Kellie
special place.
Rasberry. There you
Thank
go.
you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You get to give your speech now.
Oh, I
We
do?
yeah.
Oh, so who do you
Well.
want to thank? Obviously, your child. That's kind of important.
Oh, yeah. I was asking my daughter on the way over here. I said, you know, is there anything that I've done to embarrass you as a mom? Is there anything I get right or anything I get wrong? And it was actually really sweet because she said that she didn't really have any criticisms for me, but she said honestly she thought it had more to do with the fact that she's getting older now, you know, and that she's coming out of that period where aliens take over your teenage daughter's bodies. And so what I've tried to do with Emma Kellie the most is have really open lines of communication.
Yes.
I try to let her know that you can tell me anything, and I want you to know if you ask me anything, I'll be as honest as I can be. And you know, I've had some conversations with her sometimes that are pretty difficult, and sometimes I have to tell the truth, and it's not always putting me in the best light. But I want her to see that, you know, she can come to me and I'll come to her with anything, and just keep those lines of communication open.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most important thing you can do, especially with teenagers.
Yeah, you walk side by side.
And-
Acceptance.
exactly. And I think that pretty much sums up why you are the recipient of
That's
this
right.
award. That is
Well, thank you.
Amazing speech. Thank you so much. Well, I can't believe our time is up. I mean, it's just so hard to believe. I'm kind of
gone
sad.
so
It's so
fast.
fun.
We could do a double episode.
We
We could. I don't know how Albernaise would feel about that. We could go outside and do another episode of this. I want to thank, speaking of Albernaise, I want to thank all our sponsors, Albernaise, Farmhouse Fresh, the Beeman Hotel, New Calm, Transportation by Jan, Belinda Davis, Counting Cookies. Ladies, you're going to have some great cookies
Don't
when
leave
you
your
to take
cookies.
home.
Yeah.
Haley Davis at Plug Public Relations. And
And
that's
me.
just, and my co-host Julie Orchid. And where, ladies, can we find you two on social media? Kelly, where can the listeners find
Well,
you?
I'm Kellie at Kellie Rasberry. You gotta know how to spell it. Kelly's with an IE, no P in Raspberry on Instagram, but Kellie Rasberry Evans, my married name, on Facebook.
Okay, great. And Michelle, where can we find you?
Instagram, Michelle Schwarz Realtor. And if you guys ever, one thing I like to always do is continue to pay it forward. So I'm happy to answer any questions if anyone's interested in real estate, and I'll give you the real truth.
Lowdown.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is great.
Yeah,
And
we love that.
And Michelle has her comments turned off, but for those of you who keep comments turned on, let's stand up for her next season.
Yes, definitely.
Nothing negative, all positive, which leads us. Now you can find us at Inside the Moms Club on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Maybe TikTok.
We have a YouTube channel. Yeah, well, maybe TikTok. We don't know how long that's going to last, but you can find us there. And Julie, I just can't believe it, but we're another episode done, but we can't end it without saying something very important, ladies. And just remember this. This is our Moms Club motto.
That's right.
If you don't laugh sometimes, you're
going to
cry.
cry.
So laugh, ladies. Have fun. Be positive. And we'll see you next time inside the Moms Club.